Welcome everybody, this is the Evexia Effect. I'm Jilly, your host. We've got an amazing guest today, Michalis, who is the owner of Helios Tours, who is focusing on wellness-based activities on cost, which is exciting. For those that don't know what the Evexia Effect is, we are a podcast planning to share the word about wellness and the beautiful island of Kos. So, without any ado, Michalis, welcome to our podcast. It's great to have you here. First of all, what would you just like to share a bit of information about yourself, what you're doing, what Helios Tours is?
Thanks a lot for this privilege you are offering to me to be one of your guests. My name is Michalis. I'm 60 years old. I'm born in the beautiful island of Kos. I have a financial background. I've been studying at Kos. I went further in Athens in the university. And then further I did studies in England. That time I was very fascinated with the socialismus model, so I jumped in Sweden. And I lived there a couple of years and I married there. From this marriage I have 2 children, 2 daughters. And then I moved a little bit souther and I came to Germany. From Germany and Belgium, I was working in Brussels for a couple of years as a financial advisor, and then back to England, where we established a company under the name Telebedic or Ltd, with subject in incorporating the new technologies in the area of chronic diseases. With this model that we have established, I moved back in Germany and I worked a couple of years with the pharma industry, mainly with Bayer, before I have taken the decision to come back in Kos. And everything we will discuss is, it was a subject that pushed me and drove my decisions in moving back to Kos.
Wonderful. So you've got
And allow me just to make a sort of introduction to this. The lifestyle in Central and Western and North Europe, it starts becoming not easy for a medium type of person. So we are lucky, we are fortunate that we are living in an island which it combines so many nice things. And the most important thing is beautiful, clean air to breathe.
Yes, yeah. I totally understand that with regards to the air. You go to like the cities, the bigger places in Europe, and you don't feel the same feeling as what you do on Kos with that opening the lungs, clean air, etc. Yeah, totally relate to that. You've traveled a lot, you've been to a lot of places. That's incredible. Not many people get that opportunity to do that. And but what brought you back to Kos? What was the reason why you was brought back to Kos?
Again, because I didn't get the answer, the question. What drove me to come back to Kos?
Yes.
The quality of life. It's the quality of life that we have in this small island that combines, as I told you, fresh air. It combines good facilities. It combines sunshine. It combines beauty. It combines the nature. It combines the sea, the sun. And from my previous life experiences via Athens, for example, still in Greece, England, Sweden, middle of Europe. I have traveled even to Ukraine. I haven't, and this is something is not because I'm born in Kos, but comparing all these lifestyles, all these towns, all these circumstances that people are living. I have discussed with professors, with simple people over these years, and I have discovered that simply the comparative advantage of this island is something unique. So this is what made me come back to my roots, my family, of course, and the decision to change subject and to offer something to all those people that I have lived in my previous life with, and I have worked with them. So now I'm so happy and I'm feeling so excited that I'm coming back to these people, to my old friends, to my old colleagues, to my old associates, and I'm telling them, I have solved our problem. If you want to gain more life expectancy, if you want to live the way I'm living, because they see me and they say, how you are keeping so young and this kind of stuff. I said, okay, visit us at course and then you will see.
Wonderful. Have you always had a connection with wellness and travel? Your previous jobs, your previous careers, finance, pharmaceuticals, what brought you back to wellness and travel?
You know, I was wondering what should I do in course to be useful and not only to earn money. It's well known that Kos is a tourist island, and therefore it was easier to jump over there. But building, working in the travel industry, there are many sectors within this industry, which was fascinated. They were fascinated to me. So I said, okay, let's go. It was back to 2013 when we start. And it took me only 1 year to realize that those that called standard touring solutions weren't the one that I love to offer to my friends. And therefore, we start all these alternative solutions. It's not by accident that back to 2014, we make the main official proposal for the first hiking tour in the area of Mastihari, 2014. I
Wow.
still have photographs of this. The participants were mainly elderly people, so the tour was light in the surroundings of Mastihari, and we combine, let's say, the tour together with a good exploration to the history of the area. I have managed to locate some nice photographs how the area was from the prehistorical period. So you can imagine how fascinated was that time for all these people seeing animals that, of course, are not existing now, or hearing how the nature of the island had changed rapidly over the millions of years. And when I was watching their eyes, beyond of they were tired, but they were so interested in learning more. And of course, I'm not having a historical background, but it forced me to go further studying, and it was a very nice kickoff for them to go and find the relevant links in the internet or in books in finding more about our island. So the effect was tremendous. It was a simple hiking tour that lasted for a couple of hours in the area of Mastihari, and it turned out to be the marvelous, the most appropriate reason I needed to find in going further in building such alternative excursions, experiences, and solutions.
What initially inspired you to do that hiking tour? Why did you try it in the first place?
I will be very honest with you and our friends. Sorry for telling, but for 50 years, I have concentrated myself when I was at course only in feeling very, 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 very proud for my island. But I knew nothing about my island. Indeed, only what we have been taught at school, and that time it was very intensive. It was the period of dictatorship, and therefore the teachers were forced to give us more infos about the history, about the civilization, about the culture, the Greek culture. Nothing to compare with the modern times. But I was unfortunate because I haven't taken the initiative to explore the island, to find out all these informations I had from the books, how they are really applied in our beloved island. And for us, it was a fortune. We have the COVID effect, and for a whole year, we cut the island in pieces, and we walked with my wife from every inch, as you say in England, or every square centimeter of the island. We have been everywhere. We have seen everything. And I remember when we were coming back at night, I couldn't sleep because I was telling to myself how it is possible this small island to have such a rich history, geology, nature, flora, lights, pictures, everything. I couldn't sleep for nights because of that. So I said, okay, if you want to be egoistic, just keep everything for yourself. If you want to offer something to your friends or to your guests, then share it with your friends. So it started. At the beginning, I was the one that I was managing the company, and at the same time, I was offering the tours by myself. But as you understand, it was impossible to combine both of them because we were waking up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning just to follow a set or a sunrise tour, or later in the afternoon to reach a sunset tour. And in the middle of the day, I was working the whole day. And then I was again fortunate. I met a guy that I love. Is our Ron, the hiking Ron. He's a hiker as well from Holland, very well educated. With him, we built up all the infrastructure we needed just to be legal in what we are doing. So with him, the last 4 years, we are offering officially, legally, we are registered in Hiking Greece, and therefore we are offering 20 different type of routes, hiking routes in this small island. But we weren't, it wasn't, this is an area we have, but it is not the only one. Should I go further?
You can go further, but I just want to say, like, here at Evexia, for example, we fully appreciate the fact that you're doing these hiking tours, because if it wasn't for you, our retreats and the people that are working with Evexia wouldn't have such amazing hiking tours. So it is a real privilege to be able to work with you. But yeah, carry on. Carry on what you're saying.
Let me jump to Evexia and then going back. The first day we met, do you remember what I told you? You found the perfect name for what you are doing. Evexia, it's an ancient Greek name. It symbolizes and it gives everything to whatever has to do to wellness. And then you ask me, what wellness means to you? I am never forgetting what you were telling me. And do you remember my answer? My answer was, wellness means well-being. And if every one of us likes to reach this well-being, the average well-being, needs to pass through wellness. And wellness, you are the expert in this kind of stuff, and I am also very satisfied and very excited that I'm able to collaborate with you. It's what you are giving, a full package of pushing people in reaching their well-being. And it's not only body, it has to do with their soul and their minds.
Yeah, but it's really important to us to find people like yourself that want to share that whole experience of improving the well-being of others, the wellness of others, and to be able to find somebody that's local here on Kos. Like going back to what you're saying, like you grew up not really, even though you learned stuff in school, you didn't really know much about Kos, and that is really common on this island. And I think around Greece, my partner, for example, we go hiking all the time. We have our walking group, and half the places that we've gone walking, he's like, I've never been here before. It's like you've lived on this island for 50 years and you've never
Exactly,
been to these
exactly,
places. Yeah.
exactly. And then let me go a little bit further. Then we decided to go a little bit further, and we start thinking, okay, what about our culture? What about all those things that we are carrying with us? Is our Greek inheritance, or let's say it's our complicated inheritance. And let me explain this, please. My mother's side comes from Asia Minor, and my father's side comes from Seremos. So my grandfather and my grandmother from my mother's side, they were people living in Turkey, let's say like that. So their culture they brought with them at Kos when they came as refugees over the First World War had been married with the culture I have been inherited from my father's side, that my grandfather was a sponge diver, like my father and my uncle. So the seaside of, let's say, the one part has to do with the sea, and the other side has to do with the culture, because the people they came from the Ionian coast, all the Asia Minor coast, they were people very artistic. They love dance, they love food, they love to stay together and drink wine and discuss philosophers and this kind of stuff. So I have one side from that side, from my mother's side, and see tough people, you know. My father was telling me that he was in a boat the whole day, and either he was holding the boat or he was under diving sponges in the northern part of Africa or in the northern part of Greece. All this information, all these experiences, all this knowledge should found solutions, should found ways to go through and be delivered to the people they are visiting us, of course.
Yeah.
So I built the Ian's effect for the British and the Hans effect for the Germans. What is that? We built up a list of things that they are related with everything that has to do with our culture, with our nature, with our way of thinking. And we said, if Ian, living in Birmingham or in Bristol or whatever, decide with his family to come to Kos, what should we give, what should we offer him in providing him the necessarily information and backup so that we will help him and his family to understand our culture. The same we did in the German way for the Hans effect. So with this list, we start building new experiences. And
So
the first experience we have taken, it was the very famous now, the bake your bread. What is that? It's very common that in Greek life bread plays a very, very, very important reason. Just to be honest with you, I can tell you that in Kefalos, the oven they were calling them churches.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and the reason is the following: is that although the people they were quarreling each other over the week, when Saturday was coming, it was the need to stay together for baking their own bread for the coming week. So quarrelings and negatives and fightings were ceased just for that day to bake the bread. And for that reason, they were calling the ovens, they were using the wood, they were using wood, they were telling them churches. So imagine the effect, the social effect, besides the culinary part, besides the way the people they were brought up in our culture. So we said, let's go further and offer this type of experience to our guests by offering them these specific knowledges. Many people, when I have discussed this with some from our industry. They were telling, "What are you doing?" And this will not be successful. In the end, if you will go in all relevant portals, you will see that we have been reviewed by 5 stars, and the reason is that this is something unique.
Do you
And
think
for that
there's
reason, we went further, and now we have numerous experiences. We are starting this year an icon painting experience.
okay?
This is something new. You are the first that you know that. It's only last night that I have organized everything and I have placed it to our website. So it will be in this type of guideline. It will be icon painting workshop. Why? Because Orthodox and faith for us the Greeks is something that goes together with our living. So going back in an art that is had started more than 2,000 years ago, it's another way of us giving experiences to our guests that shows part of our culture.
Amazing. That's fantastic. There's hundreds of tour companies on this island, but they all seem to offer the same standard thing. So it's fantastic to see somebody that's actually expanding, thinking outside the box, not giving the standard. Yes, we have some amazing standard activities here, like the 3 island cruise, visit to Turkey, tour around the island, but to see wellness and cultural activities, it's a shame that it's not being used more. It's a shame that you're the only, in my opinion, you're the only person that's really thinking about this whole side of costs, which exists, but it's not shared. So it is amazing.
There is, I totally agree with you, but I will give you a nice piece of news now. Um, Using my background, the financial background, and I can tell you that I am a member in many groups working from a distance, and they are studying the modeling, the tourist modeling. Uh, it's well known that all-inclusive is a model that has been established, especially at Kos, and it doesn't allow initiatives like ours in developing themselves. But the last years, especially after COVID, the COVID effect, we see that the all-inclusive modeling is going down, is declining. The figures that I have in mind regarding last year, it's a double feature. And that's so, from the other side, we have the Airbnbs increasing. And therefore, there will be more and more people seeking for our services because they don't like to stay the whole day at the swimming pool or the whole day at the seaside. They like to explore the island. It's not by accident that, especially this winter, I had more and more and more inquiries about this kind of stuff. And this gives us, I think, for you as well, for us, definitely, give us all this faith and all this power we need to use in expanding ourselves. Expanding, it doesn't mean all the time earning more money. Expanding means that we can offer high quality services in that direction, mainly for us, because we give extra attention to the quality.
So what we're going to talk about is we're going to go on to why you think Kos is the perfect match for wellness. Yes, we've talked about the culture side of it, but what do you think about the nature side of Kos? Why would you recommend somebody to come to Kos for wellness activities?
I will not use my own words. I will use the words of a very close colleague I have now. He visit Kos the last days of October last year. He is an expert in sport tourism, and he needed to see Kos by himself. So he offered me 4 days. In the end, he said we were sitting and eating, and I saw him, hitting his head. And I asked him, hey, what are you doing? He said, still, I cannot realize how such a small island is so diversified. First day, you took me to Terma. Wow. And I thought the whole island, it's a volcanic island. Next day, you took me to Asvendiu and Zia, and now the island has a tall mountain with high trees. Ooh, wow. And then next day, we were visiting Antimachia and we were visiting Cardamena. And I said, ooh, it's different landscape again. And the fourth day, you took me to Kefalos, and this is something unique again. What's going on in here? So what I wanted to say, taking Marcos, because his name is Marcos' experience, I'm telling to everyone, this island is so unique that it doesn't exist something similar in the whole world. It combines everything, everything, everything. If you are running the island from one side to the other, every kilometer that you will drive, it will be different. So this makes our island unique.
You're relaying the same message that I say to people as well. When people ask me why Kos,
I have
why do you live in
no
Kos?
other comment to this.
It's the island, in my opinion, that offers everything for everybody. So for those that are seeking that wellness, the nature, the landscape, it offers everything. You've got the mountains for hiking, you've got the forests, you've got the glorious beaches, you've got the secluded beaches, you've got the nature in terms of wildlife, you've got the thermal springs. And then if you want in more of the other stuff, the towns, etc., you have all that as well. But I do think this island is oozing something that other places it just doesn't exist in. What
Absolutely.
does what
Absolutely.
does wellness personally mean to you? So how does Kos affect your perception of wellness?
We need to make examples. Wellness, as I told you from my perspective, means quality of life. Quality of life that has to do that everything has to that is related with the body, which means exercise, which means um, uh, a appropriate active daily program. But if you want to go further, you need to combine real approach, whatever has to do with your mind, clearance in mind, and balance in your soul. So it's a combination, wellness, it's a combination of these three elements: body, soul, and mind. And it is not new. Our grandfather Hippocrates was the one that was he was the first that he was implying such a thing, and he was the one that was insisting that if the body is ill, you have to search the reason among soul and mind. So wellness or well-being is not something new. It's something that started several years before us. It's now through the modern times and through the modern way of living, which is lead us away from our destination. You know, the rhythms, the way of life, the stress. You see everything. So how many people they are suffering from illnesses that they are related with stress, with the ugly way of life, with ugly way of eating, and therefore we need to live from. If we are really um, honor ourselves, we need to live from this kind of environment and move progressively to this new environment that has to do with another type of quality of life. And part of this quality of life, or the step to lead to this quality of life, is wellness. This is my approach.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And
Um,
wellness is a constantly process. Not It doesn't last, because in our mind it stays. Okay, we go in a spa. We do two weeks wellness and this kind of stuff, and we have reached this level. No, wellness is a constant process. Sorry, that leads us to high quality of life, and that's why we see now new models new models in sports that, of course you are the expert, but also I'm involved now, and I know that combines high intensity, because people are not having the time to reach this constant sport activity. And therefore we see this. I have heard yesterday the HIIT. And I was wondering, what is that and why it's high intensive, how it calls. And it is because the people are not living. You are laughing, yes.
high
It's
intensity
not,
training, hit training. Yeah. And it's the
yes,
key for
this,
the
I don't,
whole hit
it came,
concept is as human beings, we're designed to be active, we're designed to be moving, but in our modern lifestyle, we don't have that. The majority of people are sat at a desk all day. So to just be able to fit 10 minutes or 20 minutes of high intensity exercising just helps our body to keep moving, to keep functional, to keep happy, basically. Yeah.
yes,
This
it's exactly what I want to say, that reaching this well-being requires several type of tools, and all these tools are combined to this process that calls wellness.
Yeah. This leads nicely on to the sports and fitness collaborations you're making now. So you're speaking to and bringing other people from outside of Kos to come and use the island for sports, very similar to what we do with our retreats at Evexia. You're teaming up with people to do fitness and to do sports camps. I think it was a football camp last year.
Yes, it's not everybody knows that Greeks are lazy people. Lazy, I mean, they don't like to exercise themselves. They don't like to go be outside the daily lifestyle they have. They are not flexible. On the contrary, people in Central Europe, they have other initiatives, and it is easier to discuss with them this type of issues. So first, what we did is that we have focused in two countries at the first time, and now we are focusing in a third one. The first, it was Germany, because I had lots of friends over there, and they helped me a lot, and through their help, we reached agencies that we are intending to go further together in the area of wellness and active holidays. Yes, the first one, they have expertise in the area of sports. They are offering sport holidays. The second one, again, German. They are experts in active holidays for singles. And therefore, soon we will see in the island people that they like to hike. They are coming from this particular reason. They like to cycle. They like to exercise themselves. This is the main reason they are visiting the island. What made me very curious and very disappointed is that before our contact with these people, I have been heard that Kos was completely outside the map of their actions. And I became very sad, and I asked them, what are you telling me about? And they show me Lanzarote, Spain, Portugal, Turkey, Italy, but very few areas in Greece, mainly North Greece, and of course, Kos was not existing over there. So it was a niche market for me. I jumped in. Soon we will have some nice things happening to our island towards that direction. We moved a little bit to Holland because two of my main associates are living in Holland, and we will have some nice also results there in the area of martial arts. And the third thing we did is Poland, because we built a subsidiary company over there with the aim of promoting all these alternative activities to this country.
I'm just going to go back a little bit. When you said that you were disappointed with people didn't think of Kos as the place to do these things. And this is something which I've experienced, and something which me as a person and as Evexia, I'm on a mission to put Kos on the map, to think, I want to do activities, I want to do wellness, we're going to go to Kos. So that is a personal mission of mine to do that, because you do see these
And
sports
the
camps
nice
in
thing with
Spain,
us,
Lanzarote. Yeah.
and the nice thing with us is that we both believe in synergy.
Yes.
You are doing your initiatives. We are doing our initiatives. In the end, there is a common mission, and in our common mission, we need each other. And this is something we need to tell to everyone. It's not a single bird that brings spring, as we say in Greece.
Exactly.
We need to sing all together the same rhythm. You are expert in an area. We are trying to do something in another area. Both areas are the useful areas that they need to be combined and be offered to these people. And this is what we try to do. And that's why we are talking now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We have to work together. One person can't do this on their own. Kos needs to be put on the map. It needs to be that place where people think of, we're going to think wellness, we're going to go to Kos. And if I was to just try and do it on my own, yeah, I'm doing some stuff to get there, like the podcast, etc. It would be a long, hard road to be doing that, 100%. Yeah, so working together
Absolutely.
is the key. is the key with
Absolutely.
everything. And I just think that more hands make lighter work, really. But
Absolutely.
Greece in general is people just think of Greece as beach holidays. That is the general concept, and that needs to change. I'm currently setting up retreats in Greece, which is going to be a Greece-wide community for retreats. And the amount of retreats which are happening in this country is incredible. There's hundreds. But do people think of Greece as the place to do a retreat? Not really. They're still thinking of Bali or Mexico and places like that. So to try and create something Europe-based, because there's a lot of Europeans that come to Greece on holiday, just change the way they holiday for the better. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
So for somebody that's never been to Kos before, can you describe the energy and atmosphere of Kos from your point of view?
Energy and atmosphere.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I'm very sensitive whatever we call energy. Um, hard words and hard to say, but we need to approach this as well. Whatever energy is what, it's all this we cannot describe and only feel. So this island, because it is blessed, it has a very special feeling that it is easy to realize from the very first step a guest is doing outside the airplane. It's the smell. It's the even in the airport, the smell, the clear air, the feeling of the sea. It's the this special type of I will use the energy comes from the sun. All this combination, you you feel that, you take that inside your bones. It goes deep in your heart from the very first step outside the airplane.
Somebody like myself that's not from Kos feels that 100%. That is what we go through when we get to this island. But from the first time to the thousandth time, it's that exactly what you're describing.
And then I will go a little bit further. The decision of coming back at Kos have been taken back at 2010 September, and the reason was I was having a walk among the fields over sunset, and there our friends need to know that especially in September, August and September, of course, there is a very special atmosphere. It's the period that the humidity comes and lands over the sunset on the dry fields. And there comes a smell that cannot be found anywhere else in this world. And it was this particular moment when the sun goes down and the colors are becoming golden, pink, violet. It's amazing. And then from the ground comes all these smells and all these feelings. I cannot explain with real human words all these things. I'm just, if someone see me, can understand. So
I think you've described
I
it.
am advising everyone, visit our island and please do not isolate yourself in a 5-star all-inclusive hotel. Try to reach this uniqueness and it will really reward you.
What's the one thing that you recommend a visitor to Kos to do? That's outside, more wellness focused outside of the just going to the beach type situation?
Hike out at the fields,
I am
especially
with
over
you on this
sunset.
one, 100%.
Especially over sunset.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've spoken about so much today. If somebody wants to book one of your experiences, how would they go about doing that?
How?
How would they go about booking one of your experiences?
Now you are giving me a very nice. I need to give you a compliment before I will answer that.
Just,
You could be a very successful journalist. You know that, huh? Your questions and the way you are placing them is unique. I'm very experienced because I forgot to mention that I was the first manager in the local radio and television station. So I have quite a
wow,
lot of experience over these kind of techniques. And you are blessed. You are unique. So we needed to use technology in this case, and therefore we have came in contact and we have established an ally with a new technology system called Uperia. Uperia, it's a very, very modern platform that will help us placing our experiences everywhere within the island very easily through a QR code that will be established. So our experiences and our solutions and our services could be found very easily from a mini market to a five-star all-inclusive hotel that we are establishing collaboration now, even in apartments, even in Airbnbs, very easily with the QR code can be scanned and immediately will be lead. Everyone will be lead to our area of offering. It requires only 3 minutes of booking, 3 minutes. And
easy.
the most important issue in that case is that this platform is not a market placement tool, but also a back office station. So it will help us immediately offering back office services to everyone that likes to book our services. This will help us. It's beyond the classical website and the classical e-shop. It's a very efficient and very modern way of reaching us. And I think this will be more efficient this year.
It does sound like it's going to be, because it's hard to choose where to book or what to do or find things, even though we have like social media, etc., and Google and all this stuff, but to actually specifically find what you're looking for, it's quite difficult. So I do think your process is going to really help, really help. Yeah.
I have noticed all these years, again using my financial experiences, that the face-to-face issue can be forgettable. People are more technological driven. Digital is our new lifestyle, but also social media plays a role, but not as effective as this direct approaching way. Under the scope that if someone is buying something on a mini market and can see a sign, local experiences, even from curiosity, will check the QR code, and then surprisingly will find himself in a very unique area.
Amazing. Yeah, I totally agree. If there's a QR code, everybody just scans it automatically. So yeah,
It's a QR code or an NFC
yeah, yeah. Wonderful.
solutions.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's amazing to be working with you because we're thinking along such same way of thinking. So it's great to be working with you, but it's really great to be chatting with you today as well, to share your views on cost, your views on wellness, and why it's so important to be doing wellness activities here. Thank you.
I am the one that needs to thank you a lot because of your initiatives, of your goodwill, and I'm obliged that you choose me to be the first guest in your podcast. So thank you a lot. Wish you a lot of success in whatever you are doing. Stay healthy, and whatever you might request from me, you will have it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, thank you to everybody that's been listening to the Evexia Effect today. If you've liked our podcast, please like it, please place a comment, and keep following the Evexia Effect for more podcasts. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day.
Bye.